Untitled Chapter, Timmy, Johnny, and Spike Bad for all things EDH, here with your host. I may have made another mistake, Wanda Timmy. So it will be Women's Appreciation Day, and you know what that means. Wizards released another secret lair, and it's woman themed. We got Saskia, and we got Saskia, and I really don't know what the other four are, but we got Saskia. And somebody threw out the idea of, hey, let's brew decks around this, and I'm like, sure. And then the other idea came around, let's make it all chicks in the decks. I'm like, also sure. And then they were like, let's make it budget. And then that's when I internally screamed. Don't worry though, they didn't fully kneecap me. We're allowed a $50 to $100 budget, so I'm not going to use any of that on the mana base. I'm like, screw it. We're just going to go in there with rocks, chicks, and some decent lands. And now on to the deck tech. Alright, Saskia the Unyielding. Black, red, green, white, legendary creature, human soldier, vigilance haste. As Saskia the Unyielding enters the battlefield, choose a player. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, it deals that much damage to the chosen player. 3/4. Alright, so Saskia the Unyielding is a very aggressive commander. Unfortunately, her casting cost is also very aggressive, so it puts you in this weird spot of like, do I get the creatures out first? Do I get Saskia out first? Do I just ramp into creatures into Saskia? And the answer there is, I think it's ramp, creatures, Saskia, beat some face. But to accommodate the budget and woman theme, we are going to be playing green, white, splash the other two colors. Green the color fix, and white because white has plenty of chicks, and most of them are angels, who have some pretty big bodies that can end the game fairly quickly. But first, we're going to be doing that good old ramp and color fixing for 4-color commander and angels. So we got Boros Signet, Gruul Signet, Orzhov Signet, Selesnya Signet, Talisman of Conviction, Talisman of Resilience, Rampant Growth, searches your library for a basic card, Voyaging Satyr, it untaps a land for tapping it, and it could be any land, so you don't have to worry about only being stuck with a single color. Cultivate, search your library for 2 basic land cards, put one onto the play, one into your hand. Haro, sack a land, search your library for 2 basics untapped, instant speed. Explosive Veggies, search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them to play tapped. And then Sylvan Reclamation, exile 2 target artifacts and or enchantments, instant speed for 5 mana, or basic land cycling for 2 generic mana. You can go search your library for a land. And then Treacherous Terrain, which does the same thing, but 8 mana. Treacherous Terrain deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of lands that player controls, and basic land cycling too. Our draw cards that aren't creatures, Thrill of Possibility, 1 in a red, instant, as additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card, draw 2 cards. Mold Divine Reclamation, 3 black-green, enchantment, whenever a creature you control dies, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Now on to the ladies. We have Cliffside Rescuer, 1 in a white, creature, core soldier. Vigilance, tap, sacrifice Cliffside Rescuer, target permanent you control gains protection from each of your opponents until the end of the turn. Tis a 2/2, Den Protector, 1 in a green, creature, human warrior. Creatures with power less than Den Protector's power can't block it. Megamorph, 1 in a green, morph it for 3 mana, put it face down. Megamorph for 1 in a green, flips up, it gets a +1/+1 counter, then you activate the effect when Den Protector's turn face up. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Ember of Shieldbreaker, 1 in a red. It's a 2/1 human knight creature with a sorcery, Battle Display Adventure, destroy target artifact. Shana Sisei's Legacy, green and a white. Legendary creature, human warrior. Shana Sisei's Legacy can't be the target of abilities your opponents control. Shana gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. It's not very evasive, but it can be a decent body when the board's getting big. V2 Gazi Guildmage, green and a white. Creature Dryad Shaman, 4 green-white, create a 3/3 green Centaur creature token, and then 2 green-white populate, which is create a token that's a copy of creature token you control. Alicia Who Smiles at Death, 2 in a red, legendary creature, human warrior, first strike. When Alicia Who Smiles at Death attacks, you may pay hybrid white-black, white-black. If you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. It is a 3/2. Even if you can't activate her ability too many times, just a 3/2 for 3 with first strike's fairly good and aggressive. Attended Knight, 2 in a white, creature human knight, first strike. When Attended Knight enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. 2/2. Captain Lannery Storm, 2 in a red, legendary creature human pirate with haste. Whenever Captain Lannery Storm attacks, create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap, sacrifice, float a mana of your choice. Whenever you sacrifice a treasure, Captain Lannery Storm gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It is a 2/2. She surprisingly color fixed very well. Grim Horospex, 2 and a black. Creature, human wizard with a morph cost of black. You usually just play it face up and then swing your idiots out the die. And whenever another token creature you control dies, draw a card. 3/2. Reclamation Sage, 2 and a green. Creature elf shaman. Destroy target artifact or enchantment when she enters the battlefield. 2/1. Selesnial Eulogist, 2 and a green. 2 and a green. Exile target creature card from a graveyard, then populate. It is a 3/3 Centaur Druid. Terranika, a Crone Veteran, 1 white. Legendary creature, human soldier, vigilance. When a Terranika, a Crone Veteran attacks, untap another target creature you control until end of turn. That creature has base power and toughness 4/4 and gains indestructible. It is a 3/3. Ariel, Knight of Windgrace, 2 white-black. Legendary creature, human knight, vigilance. 2 and a white, tap. Create a 2/2 white knight. Creature token with vigilance. Black tap. Tap X, untap knights you control. Destroy target creature with power X or less. Oh, did I mention, guys, there's also a slight token populate theme. Teehee. Elvish Piper, 3 and a green. Green tap. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, 1/1, because paying mana costs is for nerds. Amiria Angel, 2 white, creature angel, flying, landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may create a 1/1 white bird, creature token with flying. 3/3. Shalai, Voice of Plenty, 3 and a white. Legendary creature angel, flying. You, planeswalkers you control, and other creatures you control have hexproof. 4 green, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Shalai is great in this deck, because sometimes you make a lot of little guys who can't really get through the board safely. But with her out, you can just start pumping the board slowly but surely. Adriana, Captain of the Guard, almost like Shalai on the pumping front, but not on the protecting your guys front. 3 red-white, legendary creature, human knight. Melee, whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each opponent you attacked with a creature this combat. Other creatures you control have melee. She is a 4/4. God Eternal Oketra, 3 white, legendary creature, zombie god, double strike. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 4/4 black zombie creature token with vigilance. The second you start populating 4/4s is the second you start winning this game. Actually, just making 1 4/4 is probably good enough. God, Oketra is a really good card. I'm so happy she was within the budget. Salmon, Voice of Descent, 3 red-green. Legendary creature, human warrior, flash, double strike, vigilance, haste. Keyword, .soup. Other creatures you control have haste. White tap, untap another target creature. 'Tis a 3/4. Sigarda, Huron's Grace, 3 green-white, legendary creature, angel, flying. You and humans you control have hexproof. 2, exile a card from a graveyard, put a 1/1 white human soldier creature token onto the battlefield. Angelic Skirmisher, 4 white, creature angel, flying. At the beginning of each combat, choose first strike, vigilance, or lifelink. Creatures you control gain the ability until end of turn. She makes combat so much safer, better, and efficient. You're dying, you lifelink. You need blockers, and you need to get some damage in, you have vigilance. You need to attack without really worrying whether or not your creatures mate. Well, they'll probably die either way, but first strike helps nonetheless. Makes things just a little bit less sloppy. Also a 4/4. Archon of Valor's Reach, 4 green-white. Creature Archon, flying, vigilance, trample. As Archon of Valor's Reach enters the battlefield, choose an artifact, enchantment, instant, sorcery, or planeswalker. Players can't cast spells of the chosen type. You'll probably end up picking sorcery because that's usually the type that has board wipes more often than not. Instants, if you really just feel like keeping her on board and like stopping counterspell shenanigans. Creatures, if you're ahead and you don't want the board getting any more flooded, but that's usually never the right choice. And artifacts, if you just want to host somebody real bad. She is also a 5/6 booty for days. Sunblast Angel, 4 white, creature angel, flying. When Sunblast Angel enters the battlefield, destroy all tapped creatures 4/5. Or your opponent swing last turn, you blow them all up. Your opponent swung at you last turn, you blow them all up. Just perfect blowout tech. Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight, what an aggressive commander. God, I just wish she had like a splash of green so I could just play her as one of mine without really having to worry about getting to her casting cost too often or not. But nonetheless, 4 mana, red, white, legendary creature angel, flying first strike. If a source would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, that source deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. If a source would deal damage to you or a permanent you control, prevent half that damage rounded up. 5/5. She just allows you to swing out and not really care about what happens to your creatures. And if your opponent swing at you, you don't really have to worry about like blocking because your creatures take half damage, or you just take it because you're also taking half damage. Angel of Deliverance, 6 mana white. Creature angel, flying, delirium. Whenever an Angel of Deliverance deals damage, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, exile target creature and opponent controls 6/6. Hopefully by late game, you have enough things in your graveyard where this starts proccing, and you're about to start ending it very quickly. And that's the end of our creatures. Now on to some token producers. We got Battle Screech. 2 white, create 2 1/1 white bird creature tokens with flying. Flashback, tap 3 untapped white creatures you control. Saskia is white. And this makes 2 birds, so you can just cast this, tap, cast it again, and on your next turn you can just start swinging out with your flyers. That's probably not getting blocked. Heroic Reinforcements, 2 red-white. Sorcery, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens until end of turn. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain haste. Good way to give haste to your board and make some creatures to swing out. Increasing Devotion, 3 white, create 5 1/1 white human creature tokens. If this spell is cast from your graveyard, create 10 of those tokens instead with a flashback cost of 7 white. Just allows you to go even wider. And the whitest of wide cards, March of the Multitudes, X green white, Convoke. Create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. You could pay X. If your board's wide enough, you can just start tapping creatures you don't really care about. And it's an instant, so let's say you were like, oh, I'm not going to attack this turn, because you were just setting up to make a massive board so you get the next attack phase just even better. And with all these low creatures and token producers, you gotta put some anthems in there. Like Force of Virtue, 2 white. If it's not your turn, you may exile a white card from your hand rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Flash it in, creatures you control get +1/+1. You can blow your opponent out with this card on attacks, on blocks, you know, just about anywhere. And you don't really have to ever exile the card unless you really need to save a creature and you don't got the mana up. And then Dictate of Heliod, 3 white. Yes, I know, it has Heliod on it in the name, but there's a chick over here, and this card gives +2/+2 to your board, and I don't think Saskia would really care. She'd be like, getting swole, get the team swole, because we're going in for victory. On the back of this +2/+2 of Flash blowout, can kill him, it's like an overrun at instant speed. And for when your ladies are getting grounded out by blockers, we got ourselves vehicles that all fly. We got Heart of Koran, 2 mana legendary artifact vehicle, Flying Vigilance, crew for 3, just tap 3 power worth of creatures. This thing turns on and you may remove a loyalty counter from a planeswalker you control rather than pay Heart of Koran's crew cost. Never gonna happen, we got 1 planeswalker in the deck. Weatherlight, 4 mana, flying. Whenever Weatherlight deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a historic card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Crew for 3. Most of our ladies are legendary. Well, maybe not most, but a good amount. And then we also have some of the artifacts you can also get. It's also a 4/5 in the air, which will start closing out games. Sky Sovereign Council Flagship, 5 mana. Flying. Whenever Sky Sovereign Council Flagship enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Crew cost is 3. I see this as just a kinda worse Inferno Titan. But you know, Inferno Titan in my ladies deck, I'll take it. And then Parhelion, guys. Parhelion's back every time. You can fit a Parhelion in the deck, you put Parhelion in the deck. Parhelion closes out games. God, I really want Parhelion to work in just one deck. Parhelion 2 is a 6 mana white. Flying, First Strike Vigilance. Whenever Parhelion 2 attacks, create a 2/4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance that are attacking. Crew for 4. 5/5. I have not got this to work once, but this will be the deck. I'll probably have to make an episode on like a deck just brewed around Parhelion. And now on to our removal package. We have Revoke Existence, 1 in the white, exile target artifact or enchantment, cast out 3 in the white, flash. When cast out enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until cast out leaves the battlefield, cycling for 1 white. Achroma's Vengeance, 4 white, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments, cycling for 3. Response Resurgence, response deals 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. It is hybrid red-white, and Resurgence 3 red-white. Sorcery, creature you control gain First Strike and Vigilance until the end of turn. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by additional main phase. You know, if Resurgence was worded properly, like, oh, untap your creatures. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase, or something to that effect. This card would be way better. Unfortunately, you have to cast this before you even head to combat, I'm pretty sure. Which just telegraphs to your opponent that they're gonna die if they don't block properly on the first one, or just know what's gonna happen. And then Integrity, Intervention. Integrity is red-white, well, hybrid red-white. Instant, target creature you control gets +2/+2 until the end of the turn. And Intervention, 2 red-white. Intervention deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. It's expensive Lightning Helix. Then we have Starstorm, X red red. Starstorm deals X damage to each creature with cycling 3, instant. And now onto some unique cards, the potpourri, or the miscellaneous section as some would say. We have Frenzied Fugue, 3 and a red. Enchant permanent, when Frenzied Fugue enters the battlefield, or at the beginning of your upkeep, gain control of enchanted permanent until end of turn. Untap that permanent, it gains haste until end of turn. You can steal a land with this. Well, it's not really stealing, it's like sharing, but close enough. Gift of Doom, 4 black. Enchant creature, enchanted creature has Death Touch and Indestructible. Morph, sacrifice another creature. As Gift of Doom is turned face up, you may attach it to a creature. I feel like this card should get played more. The sneaky Death Touch Indestructible your commander or a random creature on block is pretty hilarious, and eventually it will be, it's always a Willbender to, oh god, is it Gift of Doom? And then last but not least, Leave to Chance. 1 and a white, instant, return any number of target permanents you own to your hand, and chance 3 and a red, sorcery, Aftermath, discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards. Hey, if you're getting board wiped, you may as well make something out of it, right? And now on to the lands. We got Command Tower, Boros Garrison, Orzhov Basilica, because we just gotta make those land drops. Jungle Shrine, Nomad Outpost, Sandstep Citadel, Savage Lands, Sungrass Prairie, Terramorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds, Crowsand Verge, Grove of the Guardian for when we're populating, 3 green white, tap 2 untapped creatures you control, sacrifice Grove of the Guardian, put an 8/8 green and white elemental creature token with vigilance onto the battlefield. And then we will be playing 9 plains, 8 forest, 6 mountains, and 4 swamps. And that'll be the end of my ladies budget deck tech off of Saskia the Unyielding. While I was brewing it, it was just coming together. I was like, oh, we'll play red black and be aggro. I'm like, I need a mana fix, so we'll just focus on the green. And then focusing on the green, I'm like, well, I can't do red green because that's just mostly a bunch of big dumb creatures. And then that ran me down the path of green-white, which allowed me to go wide, make tokens, copy my big tokens. It just really started to come together and make sense. If you have any ideas for some tricks I missed, which I probably did, there's a lot of them in Magic. You don't really think about it until you start trying to work around it. Or some deck ideas I could have missed in the color pie. And maybe I was just being too narrow-minded about it. But hey, I tried my best. I think it's pretty good. I'm pretty sure we can put up a W on this next episode. Who knows? I know. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on any Trinisphere content. And hey guys, mana Crypt prices are pretty low. I would suggest picking some up. If you do, use our affiliate link in the description box down below. They're like $130 last time I checked. I just got mine recently. I'm about to have the power on that rock addiction. But yeah, it allows me to buy my first mana Crypt. It helps Shannon in the editing closet, we keep him locked in. And it helps Hog with his rock addiction, which just got way worse because mana Crypt prices just dropped. And remember guys, it's all about sending a message. Like casting Resurgence in your first main phase, and then not taking your second combat step, because they were already dead.